Forge Captain Kyle Becker and Mitch Houlahan bring you the Captain's Log on the Forge Audio Network.
All right, should we get into this?
I can't wait.
Maybe we shouldn't ever take 2 weeks off again. This just derails. We're not good enough to take 2 weeks off.
Who do we think we are?
Hey, how about let's give a little rundown of the what we're getting into today.
All right, folks. Welcome back to the Captain's Log. Sorry for the brief hiatus. You know, things just happen, but we are back. And tonight we're going to be talking about all things Forge. We've had a busy 2 weeks since we've been gone. We had some big results at the Donut Box. We're talking about the game against Ottawa, talking about the game against Halifax, talking about Kwasi Poku, talking about the game in Vancouver, and we're talking about the big derby coming up this Friday against York 9 at York, coming in hot. So tune in this week's episode.
Hey, and this is going to be a deep dive because I've just been taking notes for 2 weeks.
That might have been the best intro we've ever had, so you're welcome.
Yeah, I'd say sometimes the best. Sometimes the best off season is just nothing.
Hey,
just get the mind right.
You're telling me. I used to think you always got to do stuff. Nah.
Yeah.
Little R&R, get the mind right. Sometimes you just got to separate entirely and then come back. Nailed it.
But yeah, so 3 full games. Let's start all the way back. August, what was it, 11th? Atlético at home?
Yeah.
I think the note was statement game.
Yeah, I think that's we were talking about it. We created a group chat. You know, we're gonna start throwing things in the week. We're gonna start being prepared.
Oh, come on! Don't give the behind the scenes like that.
Ooh. A little peek behind the curtain there. Yeah, statement game. Going into that one, that was a big one. We knew it. Obviously, we hadn't played Ottawa at home, but we've played them twice in Ottawa, and they bested us. We conceded, I think, 7 goals in 2 games, which is just unlike the boys, which is brutal. And anytime you go away from home and you score 3 goals and you don't come away with 3 points, really just it's a kick in the nards. So going into this one, it was a big one. Obviously, the implications in the table were huge. Leading up to that, everyone was kind of beating up everyone. So credit to the rest of the league for keeping us in the mixer. But we had 2 games in hand still. So going into that Ottawa game, massive. And the boys came out hot.
Big time.
Real hot.
Like all these games too have been like, just like that chance at going top of the league. Yeah. Every like game around the league's been pretty cool like that recently. But yeah, the rundown of that game was it was 3-0. Couple from Borges. Yeah. Couple bangs from Borges. And a nice little welcome back for our guy, Cissé. Nice little clinch at 3-0 was like 90 plus minutes. Just a little tasty lob over the top.
A little dinky do. A little, hey, how are you? A little dink over like a 7-foot goalie. Yesly. You can't get any taller.
We were saying in the last game, how about the style points on Cissé?
It's the best. It's just sagging the pants a little bit.
Got the saggy shorts going.
And just cruising around.
He's just a skinny guy flying around.
He's just all elusive.
Shorts. Yeah. He's the best. Just smooth. He's just gliding around out there.
It's great to have him back. So that was nice to see him get a goal in his first game back at Tim Hortons Field. But
seems like he's like settling in.
Like he never left.
Yeah.
Okay, he's right back in the same locker too. So I just got him right beside me. It's the best.
Oh yeah.
Unreal.
He's close. He's to
like
you?
The guy just to my right. So like I'm like the end in mine, and then on the next little bank, he's the first guy there. Every morning, just a little, hey, how are you? It's the best.
got your guy
back.
My guy. Yeah, that's huge.
It's literally been empty since Ash left. We had Ash was a great fill-in for Cissé. That was nice. Yeah. Great personality in the room. But having Cissé back is nice. It's good.
That's sweet. I mean, this is what are we now? End of August. This is like Forge style, you know. let's tighten a few things up.
I'd say we were stinking it up a little earlier than normal. Usually we go on a nice little run and then we stink it up a little later. This one felt a little. It was different because we started the season too hot, and usually we start off too good, and then we get real hot.
Yeah.
But when we're hot, it's a little more prolonged than it was. This one was the flame burnt out a little earlier than normal.
Yeah.
So
too good at the start. Too good at the start. Sorry.
And I think a couple big performances of the Can Champ kind of just threw things off a little bit, just in terms of, I don't know, just the rhythm we were in. And then I think we found it a little difficult to kind of string a couple results in the league together back to back, which is what we needed. Been talking about consistency a lot this year, and it's they've been few and far between. So to be in this little run is nice, and this game against Ottawa was the one that set it off. But I think big performances defensively, we were fantastic, just in terms of the effort we had. Nana was great for us, which was huge, filling in. Benny obviously has been down injured for a few weeks, and Nana stepping up on the left wing. He's added something different. Obviously, he's a dynamic winger. Benny's unreal. It's not a like for like at all. I think they both provide something different, and both goals come from him. He gets into a dangerous position and he takes a shot, gets deflected, and Borges, little Johnny on the spot. The first one, he smacked the shit out of that with the old right peg. That could have gone anywhere, and he hit it so clean. It was just like, oh, you dancer. What a guy.
Just right down. I mean, right down the pipe.
Unreal.
It was one of those that you like, there's so much open net, and there's just like, he smashed it right in.
Yeah, I mean,
it was nice.
I'm fairly certain I'm putting that over the Stipley.
Hey, I wasn't going there, but I think a lot of people are. It's one of those ones where there's too much time. It's like a classic, just hooker, like, you know, back,
hooker, hardly
across, get blocked.
Yeah,
Thanks, Seth. I set you up for that one there.
Unreal. But what else? What else was nice in that game? No.
Oh, you should have thought of this after. You know what I'm going to say? You had a good chance. The heater.
Guy, that was one who was coming. I'm like, no way. And I even got up too. I did it all. I was like, you know what? I'm going to fully commit to actually head the ball one time. And I just didn't follow my own advice for Kwesi and head the ball down like an idiot.
It was the old, who was the guy at the camp growing up? The old head punch.
Omar.
Like, you really put some in. Yeah.
I actually even gave it a little bit. I did it all. It was good. It looks good.
100%. Yeah.
Did you see? I don't know if they showed it in the replay, but it was so fun. So I was like coming across it. I forget who the guy in Ottawa was behind me, but he was in there, and then Manu was running in too. And then right after I had it and missed it, I was like, oh, and then just gave Manu a nice slap in the chest. It's like, buddy. I'm sure if it was anyone else, I'd be like, what the hell are you doing? It was great. But the vibes were high that day. Felt it. The vibes in the room were palpable. And then we even had a big old autograph signing with everyone at the stadium after. So that was nice that we didn't poop our pants and then have to go out there and listen to how crap we were from everyone in the stadium for 45 minutes signing autographs. So it's always nicer when you win and you do those things. Building the community up.
I love that everyone tells you how crap you are.
I mean, it's good. It sucks, but it's good.
I mean,
I think it's just a testament to the Hamilton fans. They're literally, the best part is they wouldn't just leave. They would still stay and be like, well, should have had them tonight. Well, you guys didn't really we did. I think it was, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, we did one and we actually lost. And it was a lot of you didn't play very good tonight.
Here's what you should have done there.
You know what would have been better?
Boys?
If you guys won. No, you're not wrong, guys. Not wrong. They're great.
Yeah.
They're great.
What's been the what was the game before Ottawa? What's been the old message in the room?
Was that Calgary away?
Before that, was it hey, let's tighten her up a little bit?
It might have been Halifax at home. I could be wrong. Was it Halifax at home, which was a big dub? And then did we go Calgary away, which was a huge result, man down?
Halifax was after.
No, but we played Halifax twice. Let's just do a little fact checking here before we start rambling like a bunch of jabronis, huh?
Well, anyways, I'm sure you can remember the message.
it's just been like, boys, we got to actually put
But
we
like,
just gotta mix a little bit of effort in. And when the
you were
boys
feeling like you
are going, and we got like,
yeah,
there's certain guys in the room too. Like we have guys who we don't need them to just run all over and be psychopaths. We don't need that from you guys. But there's a core group of guys, and I'm going to put myself in that, where it's like if I'm walking around, that has a negative impact on things. So it's like we got to be sharp. We got to be good in what we're doing. Has a direct impact on like how we're building up, how we're then we're kind of we're spreading teams out and we're creating that space in between lines. And when we're breaking teams down and we're playing balls in between lines and we're creating that gap between like their midfield and their back line where they don't really know what to do, then we're dangerous. When teams can let us sit in their block and we be kind of we slow everything down and we're stagnant, it's not when we're at our best. But when we break those teams down and we're playing with a little bit of zip, we're good. Tell you what.
Well, but I think, like, isn't that kind of the I think a couple Forge teams in the past, like, it's either I think there's been a better middle ground, though, this year. It doesn't look as ugly.
Yeah.
You know, in the past, it's like when you're clicking, it's like, how are you smashing teams and then, like, being the worst team in the league right after?
Yeah.
I think it's a lot like it's
so we've even like if you look at the two games we've played Vancouver at home, we tied one and we lost one. Both of those games we weren't actually dog shit. In the past we would have lost them or dropped the points and been like, who was this team that we just all came out and watched? Yeah. This one was like, don't get me wrong, we've dropped stinkers. Calgary away this year, absolute stinker. The first game against Ottawa in Ottawa, absolute stinker. But we've dropped points this year when we've actually played well. We just didn't score, and that's going to happen in games, and that's fine. You can walk away from those games, put your hand up, and be like, "Listen, all right, this is where we have to get better, 100%." But
that's the thing too. You have like games that like have lost this year. At least you like had chances to score. Yeah. But I think the times in the past, like last year or whatever, maybe a couple of years ago, but it was like clear in like the second minutes, like this could go on for 4 hours. There's not a goal is not going on today.
And so just looking it up, guy, the run of games is we beat Pacific 2-1, went to Calgary, tied 1-1, but had a man down for the last little bit. Played real well in the first half.
Yeah, that was Cissé's
unreal first half. Kind of dropped the ball a little bit. Then we went Halifax, Valor, Pea Pants. That was a Pea Pants game. Got back on the wagon against Ottawa, and now we're in this little run right now.
Yeah. Yeah, so into the second one, the old midweek matchup.
Yeah.
That was, which is, hey, this is what we're all here for today. Someone was out of the lineup to start that game. Notable. Mm-hmm. Which led to some things later in the week. But what was that, 2-0 against Halifax? Little clean victory?
Yeah, 2-0 at home, midweek game against Halifax. They had a red card in the first half, and then we kind of just put the cap on her. And another big performance. Obviously, the big thing of the night, which everyone wants to talk about, is the big man missing from the lineup, Kwasi Poku. Questions? What's going on here? What is he? Is he hurt? Does he stink now? What's going on? No. And it was a big surprise. So Coach, he pulled me in the office before the game when I got there, and he kind of let me know. I had no idea what was going on. Kwesi coming into the stadium, and I don't even think he knew. He was fully expecting to play. He obviously knew some stuff was going on behind, but then I think the word came through that the deal was finalized. So take him out of the lineup to make sure there's no injuries, nothing. Once the thing got over the line, then it was announced that he was making his move to Belgium. And unbelievable. He's had a great run of form. What was it, 10 games? I don't even know what all his stats were, but he killed it. Took his opportunity playing up front, just scored a bag of goals, showed what he was capable of. Clearly people were taking notice. So it's, I don't know what the number was, but it was a record deal for the CPL.
Yeah, I thought there was a number. Maybe it's all just like guesses now, but like
I think someone said close to a schmil.
Close to $1 million. Yeah, that's what.
So that's huge.
Kind of saying.
Obviously,
it's huge.
First off, massive for the league. Like, that's what you want, proof of concept. And like, this is like when you're growing up and you're watching football and you're becoming a fan and you love it. Like, the dream is you make it in your backyard and then you go on to a bigger club and then you go on to a bigger club. Like, that's it. And now like, this shows. And obviously Kwesi isn't the first one in this league to move on, but like, just the size of the deal, everything around it is massive. The timing, I would say the quickness of it is like the most like picture perfect snapshot of what this game's all about and the realities of it.
Totally.
If you rip it up for 2 months with the unbelievable things the national team's doing, with the quality of player and the caliber of player and the sheer just the people around involved in this game in this country right now, like there's eyes on guys in this country. There's opportunities for you to do well and move on. And all credit to Kwesi. He did it. He put his head down. He worked. He had some success, and he didn't just rest on his laurels. He kept going. He kept producing. And the guy got himself a move and literally came in the stadium, out of the lineup Wednesday night, on a plane on Thursday. Done. See you later.
He's gone. He's out already. Yeah.
So obviously that's a big one. And
I mean, if we didn't say, so where'd he go? RWD Molenbeek.
Yeah. Second division Belgium, but I think they're a team they just dropped. Belgium. They just dropped down. Lyon
last year, relegated last year.
Lyon owns them, so massive club in France. They own them, so they have ties. So again, just another step in the right direction for them.
I mean, it's like it just shows that eyeballs are on the league too. Yeah. It's like if you need any more, people are watching. Yeah. It's like, it's just so exciting that it's like just that. I mean, especially Kwesi's, what was it? Montreal, that second leg.
Yeah.
It was like, he got put up front
and just killed it.
And it just didn't stop.
Yeah. Bags in the first half, but also like just torches him. Like his movement, the way he was able to hold up the ball. Like, I think it was an immediate snapshot of like, this might actually work.
And like how much had he played up front or striker for you guys before that?
Zero.
Anything?
Maybe once.
Couple games? Zero.
Maybe once.
So what? He played up front for Sigma though.
No.
He's just like that was just like
I think he was always like he played on the wing a few times, but he never played as like an out and out striker. And then
he's obviously always been an attacking player.
Like, I think this is the bigger message, which is I think the one that young players need to be focusing on. Kwesi obviously always believed in himself as an attacking player. Like, no doubt he was confident playing on the wing, but there was still moments where like he wasn't really finding his footing, all these things. Obviously, we tried him out as a left back for a handful of games. And by all accounts, when you look at him, like all of the attributes that he has, you're like, yeah, dude, you can go on and be like an Alphonso Davies type in this position. But he wasn't finding his rhythm for whatever reason. T gets hurt, and he's out of the lineup. And Kwesi gets thrown in a second leg against a Montreal Impact team. And he just takes his chance and absolutely rips it apart. And then, what do we say, 10 games? 10 games later, he's playing in Belgium.
10 goals later.
Yeah, sweet. Sorry. The games.
He might have, it might have been a few more games, but like literally 10 goals later. Yeah.
Playing it, you've got your move to Europe, and now you're like the next step of your dreams coming true. And
I mean, it must feel really cool for you too. Like, I mean, how many times do I have to hear you harp on about taking your chance? Keep your head down, honestly. Take your chance when it comes. Like they all must be sick of hearing it from you. But I mean, this is pretty sweet.
There's probably a few people that are like, "God damn it, God damn it."
Like how. Like when Bobby pulled you in and told you, like, what are you feeling?
It was just like, this is great. Honestly, the first thing for me, I was like, nice, this is good for the club. Because I know earlier in the season, there's just been garbage stuff that's come out that's sort of been trending in the direction of we don't want to move players on. All of these nonsense things that come around with it, where it's like the staff doesn't want to do it. The staff are holding people back. The reality is like, no, you just got to produce and people are going to knock on the door. And the crazy part about football, where I think people get these misconceptions is, oh, if I sign this contract that like keeps me here, that's going to stop people from coming. Dude, if you're good in this world, the price tag on any player in the CPL is not an ungodly amount.
Yeah.
So if you're actually worth your weight in salt and a team is interested, they're going to take it. And now there's, as we said, there's more eyeballs. You have a national team coach who's literally calling for us to continue to play younger players, to keep getting them in the door, to keep growing and pushing the game forward. What else do you want? Come into training every day like a psychopath and train like you're going to be sold the next day. Oh, like the nonsense stuff that that our coach, Oakville coach, would tell us when we were 10 years old. You never know who's in the stands. It's like, yeah, guy, we're playing at Shell Park. I know who's in the stands. It's Bill and Bob. They work down the street. Get out of here. But like, we would literally be dreaming about that. Be like, yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going. I'm doing it. He's here. You never know. He's right. There might be a scout from Arsenal here. You never know. It's like, well, there wasn't, but but now the reality is like, there's eyeballs and you have people who are speaking about it and you have players playing in the top leagues in Europe who are actually producing. So that means that, oh, maybe I'm going to go find the next Alfonso. Maybe I'm going to go find the next Jonathan David. I'm going to go searching for him. Yeah. So it's huge.
Especially because, like, I mean, it's not like he came in and he's like, you know, he's always been a very good player, but he worked his way into the lineup first.
Oh, he's had all kinds of ups and downs since becoming a pro.
Right.
He got cut from TFC. We picked him up. He's come in. He couldn't get his footing. Then he finally got in. We thought it was going to work. It didn't work. He had good games. Then he kind of took a couple steps back. He's been injured. He got injured in big games. He got injured against, I think it was Cruz Azul. Got injured against, I think it might have been Chivas this year. Like major setbacks that can really, really mess with you. And the guy came in and he just continued to put his head down and work.
Yeah. I mean, it's really the more we talk about it, it's awesome. Yeah, it's such a cool story. And he's like, give us a little bit about the guy too. Because he's such a like nice guy too. And just like, he's only done like, any of the interviews that he has, he's just so like, I remember
so many times I'm like, Kwesi, are you like, you're taking the piss out of me, guy? Or are you just actually this just like a good person? Like, don't do this. Yeah. Don't take the piss out of me, guy. I'll mess you up. We're just sitting there. And he's just, oh man, he's just great. He's a good kid. He's genuinely just a good kid.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, what else do you need to say? Is that not the greatest thing you could say about a kid when you're 20 years old?
If you
got a good head on your shoulders. You have a good family. You got a good support network around you.
Hey, as our guy goes out into the world on his own and continues to kill it, I'm saying now's your chance to be the first to maybe think of a story and give some insights on the guy. Hey, if something pops in your head, feel free to
All right, let's keep this train rolling. So the boys get a big old dub at Halifax. We're buzzing. Obviously, now that was our game in hand, so we're top of the table.
The Racing White Daring Molenbeek. Did you know that that's a full name? RWD.
No, I did it. It's a mouthful.
Racing White Daring. Yeah.
Yeah. So, just lost my headphones, man.
What? Lost your cans. Wait, so, but give us a bit of, and I haven't even asked you yet, like once you were telling me like when it was like kind of happening, but like how did the whole team find out? Like once it came like, and it's like a real thing, like what happened?
Well, Kwesi pulled up to the locker room and then he wasn't in the lineup and it was kind of like, what's going on here? And then he obviously knew what was going, like he knew stuff was happening in the back. And then I think he was pulled in pretty quickly once he was there. Cause I think he had to finalize some stuff on his end.
Yeah.
And then that's when everyone just started talking. And to be fair, everyone kind of kept it like a little hush hush before.
Yeah.
And I would say the coolest thing was that Kwesi comes on the field and we got the old anvil thing that we do after W's and Kwesi doing it. And then obviously it wasn't common knowledge, but I think looking back, some of the fans are going to see and realize how emotional he was at the time. And I think it was a cool moment that they'll be able to know that they were a part of. So that was sweet.
Kwesi hit the hammer?
Yeah, full in common clothes.
Oh, in common clothes. Is that the term?
I don't know. Felt right.
Like, yeah, like just general population.
Gen pop clothes. Yeah, no, just like in
street
world. So like I feel like everyone's got to put 2 and 2 together, but still, yeah, because they're like, why is he doing
regular clothes? Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like rumblings around the room, like everyone was just like kind of winking at each other and stuff. Like, ooh, look, something's going on here.
I think
that's sweet.
It might have been one of those ones where, like, I think at the point of like game time, everyone knew, but like no one was really saying anything about it because no one wanted to be like, are we allowed to talk about it? Are we not allowed to talk about it? So there's just a whole lot of wink, wink, nudge, nudge going on. Like, just like, oh yeah. And he's probably like, all right, but what the going on here?
Yeah, everyone's just walking past Kwesi being real awkward, like, hey man,
you did it. Just a bunch of those.
Yeah. So did Bobby say anything like after the game?
No.
Like little no.
He told me he was gonna do a speech and everything too. He's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. Oh, he's like, I'll think about it. And it was like, he's like, they know. Everyone knows. He's not a speech guy.
Classic Bob.
Classic.
But here's a non-classic Bob thing. How about what happened? How was your weekend? The Vancouver away?
Yeah, didn't go. So it just very rare turn of events. Got pulled into the old coach's office on Friday, and it was like one of these ones where usually I'm like the old guards up. I'm like, what's going on here? And yeah, it's no secret. I've been kind of battling some stuff, feeling it the last little bit, but been putting a shift in, playing great. So obviously you want to keep that thing going as a player. Obviously you want to keep playing. I've been very vocal about it. I want to play as many games as I can. He like pulls me in. He's like, so how would you feel about taking the old weekend off? And I was like, all right. I don't even think I played it cool at all. I was like, you know what? I think you're right, coach. I think that'd be a great play. And the one thing I did know, travel was tough. Like we had a tough flight. We got in pretty late. We got in early and had some time. So I knew that I had that in the back of the head. Wasn't looking forward to that one. And then turns out to be just an all-time trip to miss. The boys sat on the tarmac for 3.5 hours. Flight was already delayed. Then they got on the plane. It was just like one thing or another. God, you would have lost it. Apparently the pilot was just like hearing all these things that were slowing it up. And he got on the mic and he's like, I got to go figure this out. He's like, I've some of the stuff I've never heard in my career. And he literally popped out of the plane and walked across the tarmac in a vest. And apparently there was like a fire going on in like some spot where like all the carts are for like the baggage and everything, so none of the bags could leave. It was also like torrential downpour, so they couldn't like load all the stuff up.
Oh, my.
It was just a nightmare. And then they finally went to go, and it was like, oh, psych, we have no fuel in the plane.
Yep.
And then it was like, oh, there's a backlog in fuel in all the planes, so we got to wait a little bit. Apparently, it was a WestJet flight, so there was none of the holes in the back of the seat, so everyone's phones were dying. People were just losing it. Okay, but the best part is, and this is how I knew we were going to get the 3 points. Got a message from the one and only Dave Edgar. He's like, I'm 3 rows up from the cockpit. I'm going up. He's like, stay tuned for pics. Guy just sends a pic with the pilot. Give me one of these in the cockpit. Like, unbelievable.
Man, that guy's just a pro flyer now, eh?
Loves it.
Does he love flying? I was just going to ask if all those, maybe the fire and the rain was going to bring back
none
a
of it jams him up
plane
anymore.
scaries for him.
Guys, he's battled all. He's doing his breath work. He's a ledge.
Yeah. Picture with the pilot's amazing.
Yeah, and then then big shout out to young lad on the team, Mateo coming in late sub and just saving the 3 points for the boys. Also shout out Nana, that was an unbelievable pass. But the touch, the finish, everything, the Luca Toni celebration, it was magic. Needed it. It just kept the boys rolling. So now that's taking us into this Friday. We got ourselves a derby on our hands.
Oh boy.
Yeah, big one.
We got 5 minutes here to talk about the derby.
Big one. Boys are obviously York's since they've had a little bit of a turnaround. New coach came in. They've been on a run. They've been at the top of the table for a few weeks now. They've been playing real good.
Yeah. How about York being like close to the top of the table?
I know. I know. They're playing well. I mean, they've had some players. Obviously, Mo's a baller, and he's been playing well. Brian Wright's a good forward. But they seem to be putting it together. So I think we're going to be in for one on Friday night. Nice little CPL match under the lights. You kidding me?
I mean, you never know what you need until it's right in front of you, eh? But a little 401 derby.
Yeah, that's what we need. It's a big one too.
100%.
So
we were talking about what if the finals are at York Stadium, at the old York Stadium?
I think the league would have some work to do to make that look a little something else.
Have to get in there and offer some advice on the old game day operations. All right, here, guys, order more stuff. First of all.
All right, see what you got on this side. We're going to need to put some of that on that side.
All right, team. The game is 90 minutes.
There's going to be some beers drank. Stop running out of beer.
Let's stock her up for the whole thing this time. Also, there's that. You know how many tickets were sold? Let's try to get them in before the game.
Oh yeah, there was some troubles the last time we were there, huh?
Oh yeah, that was when we had the old the Sharpie on the thing, like 2 tickets, no scan, and just like, it was just madness. Nothing was working. There was a hardo with like gloves on, like trying to scan every ticket, and none of them were working. And it was like, no, I'm gonna stand here until this is scanned. It was like, all right, guy, just let us in here. Yeah, I think your dad was gonna murder someone.
Oh man, unreal.
That was a good one. But yeah, I mean, since the team's turned around,
yeah, boys are feeling good. We just got to keep this train rolling, buddy.
Maybe I'm speaking out of turn. Maybe the operations is following suit.
So what are your thoughts for old Friday night? Putting you on the spot here. Give us three of Mitchell's thoughts.
Friday night. I mean, it's hard to think that we slip back to anything that isn't too close to how you've been playing. So I think, but York like has a lot to. This is like you guys have been smashing them too. So I think York comes out.
They're gonna come out hot.
I mean, I'm hoping for a over under 9 yellow cards.
You want a little spicy derby, huh?
Yeah, I want a spicy derby.
All right.
I think I'll go 9 corners too.
Boom. So we're going over 8.5. So this has turned into a gambling podcast.
Yeah. No, we're brought to you by I don't know what they are.
Unreal.
By Dan O'Toole's mustache. How about that,
dude?
How about those commercials?
Okay, so perfect that you brought this up, because for the listeners of the log who've been with us since day one, they know that we've had some gripes with commercials in our past.
Yeah, we should get back.
I'm going to tell you, the Tony Bet commercial is worse than the Cars for Kids.
Oh boy!
The thing about Cars for Kids that's bad is those kids are being held at gunpoint, and that's awful. And we don't. Don't want any harm to those kids.
Bad.
We hope they get found, and we hope
the
people that are making them film that they get dealt with. But, buddy, this Tony Bet commercial, I don't know which part of it I hate more. I can't. The guy dancing, the song, the way he sounds. Oh, buddy, it's the worst. It's the worst thing in the entire world.
It's hard to like. How could you sit and write that song and be like, yeah, that's the one.
You cannot tell me that advert has got a single subscriber. Like, it can't. If I saw that commercial, there's no chance I'm going to be like, you know what? Let me sign up for this. This seems like a good app.
It may have actually just taken away people who were actually using it.
If you just saw a Tony Bet sign on the street, you'd be like, all right, there's another platform. Maybe I'll use that. Maybe they got good promos. I don't know. Thing? Are you kidding me? Are you like,
wow, this Tony set you off.
I almost stopped watching our game because of it. Also, I got a big problem with One Soccer doing it. We're going to get yelled at for yelling at our sponsors. 100%. We're going to get a message when
it's our favorite thing.
This podcast comes out. We're going to get a message saying, guys, you're not allowed to talk to your sponsors. That's not it. That's not good. And I know.
So is this the first time you've heard this song?
Seen in my life.
Is this the first time you've heard it? Because you don't really watch your own games that much.
No, I've seen it. This one, it's just like, I think I've ignored it. And this one, just like being actually locked in and like not being on my phone, like watching a full game because for that reason you just said, I almost shot myself in the face.
How does it go again?
No, I'm not doing it. I almost did. You almost got me, guy. I'm not doing it. We're done. All
right, we're getting called off here. This is a good one. But thanks for listening. We're never gonna miss a week ever.
This was The Captain's Log with Kyle Becker and Mitch Houlahan. The guys will drop another episode sometime, whenever they get to it. In the meantime, we would love and appreciate for you to like, follow, subscribe, click on the little bell, do all the things in all the places you get entertained, and you'll find more of this type of content. And that also means we get to spend more time together on the Forge Audio Network.